everybody. Hope you're having a good day. It's finally going to be a hot one here in California. I know some of you probably going to cheer about that, but we're supposed to get up to 100 tomorrow, so it's going to be a hot one. But anyway, let's get into our lesson. The title is Truth Does Not Matter Anymore. And we've seen in our society a culture change where truth does not matter as much as the agenda does. Truth is only important if one can gain an advantage by it. And often the truth is ignored if it does not agree with the powers that be. And so years ago when Michael Brown was shot, they promoted this lie called hands up, don't shoot. And yeah, everybody got on board with that, and everybody's saying, well, this is what happened. But all the witnesses and the videos they had proved that was a lie. But yet, people still ignored the fact that it was a lie, and they still kept chanting the slogan, hands up, don't shoot. And we remember many years ago in a presidential race that the Speaker of the House said something to the effect that basically the candidate hadn't paid his taxes in 10 years. Of course, that was proven to be a lie, but when asked about it later, he just kind of chuckled and said, well, he didn't get elected, did he? And so he didn't have a problem telling lies. And that's one thing we notice in our political system is people keep telling lies over and over, hoping that you'll find some sort of disgust in the other group. Then sometimes you're telling the truth, and guess what? The truth doesn't even matter. So, and the same thing goes for like that climate change. Oh, everybody got on board with that. Years ago, we kept hearing, oh, we're all going to die. The ice caps are going to melt, and the whole world's going to be messed up. Well, the world is messed up, but it's not because of climate change. It's because of all these lies. And, of course, the world's leadership went along with it, and they promoted this lie because there was an agenda taking place which most people are ignorant of. Very simply, they just wanted control, and they wanted to maintain that control, and they wanted that control to come from a very limited source. All right, truth or lies? Does it even matter? Well, actually it does. See, I heard one person say on TV that no matter how many lies are exposed about a candidate, many will vote for that candidate anyway, just because they're told to, or because they want to follow the party line. And so while truth may be spoken and people just ignore the truth because they want to vote their candidate in, and then they turn around and tell lies about the other candidate, hoping people will take hold of that and choose not to vote for that person. I mean, it's all crazy. It's all stupid. And so we just know it's crazy. See, another area where truth does not seem to matter anymore is in the realm of the spiritual. Majority of denominations will hold to a lie and promote the lie, and rather than teach the truth of what God says in His Word. While Jesus taught obedience to God was necessary to enter heaven, men teach that obedience is not necessary. And Jesus clearly taught that baptism is essential to salvation, and man denies such. And the problem is that more people listen to man rather than listen to God. And there's a reason for it. All right. See, Eve did not like what God had commanded. I mean, you could tell just by her behavior, just by her presence, where she was, that she was really looking upon that fruit and desiring to eat it. And, of course, God said not to do it or she would die. And she didn't like that. But then when the serpent came along and told her what she wanted to hear, saying, you shall not die, and God is only doing this because He doesn't want you to be like Him. And you can be wise as God by doing so. So that's all she needed to hear. And of course, mankind has not changed in the last 6,000 years. See, God gives a command, most people do not want to abide by that command, so they do what they want to do. Yes, whether it is truth or not is really irrelevant to them. It actually becomes easier to do what you want because you want to do it rather than to abide by what someone or something else wants you to do. So it's easier to do your own thing and do what you want to do than to listen to God and refrain from doing those things. So, and that's why Paul told Timothy there in 2 Timothy 4, verses 1 and 2, it says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and patience. For the time will come, they will not endure sound doctrine, but wishing to have their ears tickled, they will accumulate for themselves teachers of their own desires. And then, of course, they'll turn aside to fables and myths. So, this is nothing more than the result of a selfish society, selfish people. Just imagine our world when they succeed in turning this into a godless society. What's that going to look like? I mean, that is not out of the realm of possibility. We see it taking place now in some of our cities. They have rioting for like 90 days in a row now. Every night they're rioting and burning and looting, and they keep going back and stealing from the stores and all this looting, and they're throwing rocks and bricks to harm people. And I mean, this is all going on, and this is just a result of selfishness on the part of so many. And so a godless society should be a scary thing. And so, in fact, we've seen changes in our culture and society that indicates humanity is rushing into such a chaos, and they're doing so by removing God from every aspect of our culture, trying to remove God. So God tells us that he allows people who do not want the truth to believe the lies. You know, 2 Thessalonians 2, 11 and 12. Well, God will let them believe the lie. Well, he explains why. The reason is they don't love the truth. They don't love the truth. They don't want the truth. And so they're going to come up with their own story, and they're going to be okay with that. And of course, you know, like they say, if you tell a lie often enough, people are going to believe it. And so we also know that God predicted that our court system would ignore truth to promote an agenda. Yeah, several times in the Old Testament, God speaks of the failure of the judicial system because bribes take place, power is exerted, personal safety is threatened, and of course, who's taking advantage of it? Those who should have known better, and they were the ones breaking the law. So the law, and especially the Constitution, is not respected anymore. We know that. People hate it. They want to destroy it. They want to put something else in there. Just as a side note, I'm just wondering, what would you put in place of the Constitution? The Constitution affords us many rights. Are you going to eliminate all rights as citizens? I mean, what's your alternative to removing the Constitution? And nobody has yet offered anything as an alternative. And that's because they don't have one. All they want to do is just destroy. And of course, they're the agents of Satan when all they want to do. Jesus talked about Satan, who he wants to kill and steal, kill, and destroy. And let's face it, that's very descriptive of quite a few groups today in our society. All right, so they don't like the Constitution, and many people only call upon law when it's to their advantage. Otherwise, they just ignore and break the law as often as they can get away with it. You know, I come from in a career of a union environment. And the union, every time something wasn't going their way, they'd pull out their book, so see right here, here's what the law says. But then there's other things which they want to get away with, and we pull out the books. No, that's not fair. You can't bring out that book. But it's just as effective one way as it is the other. And so when it goes to arbitration, they say, well, that's what it says. All right, so when you think about it, this is the very reason that Jesus was crucified by the people. Why? Because Jesus was the truth, and he spoke the truth. And the people did not want the truth. The truth they wanted was a different scenario than what Jesus was offering. And so, spiritually speaking, we know this happens all the time. And until we place Jesus at the pinnacle of our faith and our lives, lies will keep us off track and in a lost condition. Anybody who doesn't appreciate the truth and love the truth, they're going to go for the lies. And they're going to feel good about it. And it's going to make them feel good about themselves. And all the while, they have been deceived by the father of lies, Satan. They've been deceived by these things. So take time to consider these things and realize, and we see this all the time, truth doesn't matter anymore. And we see people in one moment saying, well, here's what I believe. And then the next moment they're believing something else. So which person are you going to listen to? The one that said it before, the one that said it after? And sometimes they're the same person. So, yes, in so many ways, truth does not matter anymore. But I'll tell you who it does matter to. It matters to God. It matters to those who want to be pleasing to God. And they want the truth. They expect the truth. And they demand the truth. But there's so many in this world who don't want the truth because it makes them uncomfortable and makes them change their lifestyle and their culture. So consider these thoughts. Truth doesn't matter anymore. And that is so true. I mean, I can just imagine what we might be saying another 10 or 20 years about this subject. It's just a scary thought right now to consider those things. Okay, that's it for the lesson for today. I hope you all have a good day. And Lord willing, we'll be back tomorrow with another lesson. All right, bye-bye for now.